Okay, so I just had some technical difficulties with this computer screen and this computer. It's freezing up on me, which is annoying, but at the end of the day, this message will get pushed through. I don't care what time of the night it is. Um, I just wanted to touch on something that I think might confuse many people, many believers, and there's no room to be. And when you have a weak faith, it's very easy to get lured into foolishness. And the one thing that I see happening a lot is that we're being taught, or Muslims would come into your space, people who practice Islam, and they would teach that, yeah, we believe in Jesus too. But the problem is that they don't recognize Jesus as being as holy as we do, Christian believers. And if we were to read the scriptures, we would see that Jesus is not a man that just came about 2,000 years ago. In fact, he is the beginning and end. He's the one that created all things with the help of the Father. He's been around, and he is eternal. He's forever. And if we start endorsing the foolishness that he's just some prophet, some man, then we're just as lost and foolish as those others that believe that. So I'm going to give about five different verses. I want to go over them quickly to just help anyone that did not or cannot see what is reality. That Jesus Christ was there from the beginning. I mean, from the beginning, from those moments where he would say, "Let there be light," Christ was there. And most don't know this. If you look at Genesis 1, Genesis 1:26, we see on the sixth day, it says, God tells Christ, he goes, God said, "Now we will make humans, and we will make them be like us. We will make them rule the fish, the birds, and all the living creatures." So, if you were to see the two keywords there, you would see that he said, "Now we will." So the action, it's we. So who? So it's not only something that he had planned on doing, meaning he wanted them. He wanted to let it be known that he, God the Father, and God the Son will step up and make humans in their image. So that's one verse that is sometimes overlooked, and there's no way to twist that into anything else, because he says us, let us make, and he said let we, and doesn't matter the version you read, it's gonna say exactly that. Where some of the versions, actually the newer ones, they're trying to eliminate that, where it's no longer all these the newer versions. They're trying to eliminate the fact that it's saying it's recognizing that Jesus Christ was there from the beginning. So you have an Old Testament confirming that Jesus was there from the beginning. No one wants to know that, because if you recognize that he was there from the beginning when all things were created, and this is done from the Old Testament, this confirms that the Old and the New ties together. So there's no like conflicting story as to what's really going on. But some want to see what they only want to see, and I guess to each their own. Genesis 11, Genesis 11, 7, Genesis 11, 20, Genesis 11, 7. This is the story of Babel, where they were building the tower, and they were just being very successful in whatever they were trying to accomplish. They wanted to form one government, one nation, more or less. They didn't want to tower and go and spread out like he said, be fruitful and multiply. So they came up with a plan to build this big tower and basically be under their own ruling. and God saw what they were doing, and he then said in Genesis 11:7, he goes, he said, come on, let's go down and confuse them by making them speak different languages. Once again, he wasn't saying, I will go down. He said, come, let us go down and confuse. So once again, you see that God the Father and God the Son, they are once again working together because they're one with each other. So that's just two verses within Genesis that just pretty much gives it away that he's not calling on his angels. He's not calling on he's calling on the Most High. He's calling on the Prince of Peace. He's saying, Jesus, let's go and go down there and confuse those people and let them speak different languages so that they can stop the evil things that they had planned on doing. And that's what happened there. Another verse that I wanted to go over, and I think this is pretty much gives everything else is in the New Testament, but it makes it's even more convincing, and not even so much convincing, but it gives it away even more clearly than Genesis. Genesis, you have to have an eye or be guided through wisdom by the Father, and that was shown to me just through reading those two verses. But if you go to John 1:1, we get to see it very clearly. John 1:1, because in the beginning was the Word. Again, in the beginning was the one who was called the Word. So Jesus Christ was called the Word, but we'll get to that. And the Word, in verse 3 it says, and this Word and this Word God created, and with this Word, I'm mixing this whole thing up. And with this Word God created all things. So we get to see that in the beginning was the one who was called the Word. And it confirms that with this Word, Genesis 1:26, they created all things, as was confirmed when I showed you in the verse, Genesis 1:26. Then you go down to verse 14, and then it confirms that the Word is Jesus Christ. It says, the Word became a human being and lived here with us. We saw his true glory, the glory of the Son, the glory of the only Son of the Father. It's pretty clear there. First you have the Word created all things, and then you know that the Word came to this earth and he lived among us. That's Jesus Christ. So, and then if that's still not enough to confirm that Jesus Christ is the beginning and end, why not just hear it from his own mouth? Go to Revelations 22:13-16. Okay. Revelation 22:13-16. He goes straight to the point. He goes, I am the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. And he said, God will bless all those who have washed their robes. And then it goes on in verse 16. I skipped verse 15. And then I go to verse 16, and it says, I am Jesus. I am the one who sent my angel to tell you all the things of the churches. I am David's great descendant. I am the bright morning star. So hearing that he's confirming, he's telling you that he's the beginning and end. He's the one who sent his angel. He is the Word. He was there when all things were created. He created all things, John 1. So there's no room to put him in a category as a man who just was put on this earth 2,000 years ago. Yes, he lived among us 2,000 years ago, but he was here way before then. So when you recognize that Jesus Christ has always been, there's no room to, There's no room to be foolish and let his holy name be watered down to some mere human being that just walked on this earth. No, don't let anyone fool you. We can't have it. We can't have it. Speak out against it. Rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ. In the last verse, actually, I wanted to go back to John because I thought that was it was interesting. I was reading Christ's prayer. He said a prayer to the Father, John 17, and in his prayer he even confirms what is true. What verse is it? Oh yeah, verse 5. John 17, verse 5. He, like I said, he was saying a prayer to God about it's time to come. He's ready to go back home to the heavens, and he says, "Now, Father, give me back the glory I had with you before the world was created." It doesn't get any more clearer than that. And like I said, I'm using the contemporary English version, so that makes it a little bit more clearer. But sometimes the translations can be somewhat confusing, and there's a mix of words. The newer versions are definitely trying to erase these things, whatever it is that would confirm that Jesus Christ is the one and only, the true, the Creator. He's the awesome one. We're taught to believe that he just came here, and he just came here. He died for our sins, and that's the end of it. But in our reality, you don't realize that he was there from the beginning. He created those things. He created us. He made it. We were made in his image. And that's where it all gets very confusing to some people. And when you know this as being true, then there's no room for confusion anymore. There's no room to question the what's the word I'm looking for? The awesomeness of Jesus. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and make sure that those who were uncertain or not sure about who Jesus is, at least from a biblical perspective, you now have verses to confirm that he truly is and was and will always be. He is the one. So let's keep our garments clean and continue to pray and pray in his name, because like he said, you pray for anything in my name and I will do. He will always be there. You call out for him and he will protect. So we need him in our lives. We need God. We need him. He's the one and only. God bless. Take care.